in the automobile industry. However, there is a legendary existence. It not only invented the automobile in 1886, which was the first automobile brand in the world, but also miraculously survived for 2 centuries, which is very rare in any industry. And this miracle is the originator of car brands that absolutely cannot be avoided. Mercedes-Benz. In on 1844, the father of Mercedes-Benz, Carl Benz, was born in Germany. At that time, civilians were going out, and a bicycle was considered very high-end. But Benz still felt that riding a bicycle was too strenuous. So he had buried a dream in his heart from an early age, to build a car that would move without human effort. It was Benz's idea of laziness that made him continue to study mechanical engineering. After graduation, he worked in many factories and accumulated practical experience. Besides work, he also worked hard to invent and applied for a large number of patents related to his automatic car. It was easy to say that Benz was just one step away from his dream, as Benz is actually more than 40 years old at this time. In 1886, when he was in middle age, Benz finally used all his life's learning to invent the world's first automobile. Yes, you read that right. The first car in the world was actually a tricycle. Although Benz invented only a tricycle, it was a very magical high-tech product in that era, and it would definitely cause a sensation on the street. Because he invented the car, Benz became famous overnight. So he used his name to create a Benz car, and a legendary brand was born. However, this Benz is not what we are today. The Benz we are now familiar with is called Mercedes-Benz. At the time, Benz actually had a competitor called Daimler. The boss of this company was also a technology maniac. The quality of the cars it produced was no worse than that of Benz. A big customer bought a Daimler car, and gave the car the name of his daughter, Mercedes. As it happens, this Daimler car named Mercedes won the championship in a car race. This made the big customer very happy. When excited, he suggested that Daimler should also name the car after his daughter, Mercedes. The will be good luck. In those days, car sales were calculated in the tens or hundreds, and Daimler did not dare to offend this big customer, and had to accept it. In 1926, due to the economic downturn, the rival Benz and Daimler decided to merge. The name of the new company was called Daimler-Benz. The car produced by this new company is called Mercedes-Benz, which is the Benz we see today. In the first few decades, the most famous car built by Benz was Hitler's bulletproof car 770K. Only 17 of the Sir Then 70K cars were built, each of which had to be approved by Hitler to be produced in what is now a limited edition. Other models have been lost because they have not continued, and the models whose genes have been preserved so far need to start with the Benz 220 in 1951. Among the Benz cars we can buy now, the highest end mod L is the S-Class, and this Benz 220 is the officially recognized S-Class predecessor, with all the best craftsmanship and configuration. It was the first choice for the upper CL as at that time. Seeing the popularity of 220, Benz took advantage of the heat to launch a slightly lower end, but still luxurious W120. This car is now the ancestor of Mercedes-Benz E-Class. The 1950 years can be said to be the golden age of Mercedes-Benz new models. In addition to the two classic models mentioned above, the sports car 300 SL launched in 1954 is more of an epoch-making representative. With its cool doors, stylish Mercedes logo and streamlined body, it's hard to believe this is a 1950 years car. But perhaps Mercedes' luck has run out. In 1955, Benz was confronted with the biggest crisis in its history. During the 24-hour Le Mans endurance race, the world's top race, the Benz team car broke down when driving. After the car broke up, debris from the fire spattered into the auditorium. A total of 83 people died in the accident. Because the accident was too serious, Benz announced that it would withdraw from all racing activities and disappeared on the track. It took a long time to recover its breath. In 1972, Benz finally ushered in a new peak. In that year, Benz officially used the S-Class to command its flagship sedan. It was the first street in the world to install the ABS anti-lock brake system. That was very advanced at that time. Safety was the biggest selling point of the S-Class. In the late 1970s, the German military openly invited bids for a military car from various car companies. As the leading German car company, Mercedes also came up with its own design. Although this work was finally abandoned by the military, because it was not economical enough, it became the tough guy representative of Mercedes-Benz G-Class. After it flowed into the private market, Mercedes-Benz G-Class later became Mercedes-Benz's most high-end SUV, leading a group of younger brothers in the SUV market. While developing high-end products, Mercedes-Benz has not forgotten the development of middle and low-end products. In order to attract more fans, Mercedes launched a first-class sedan in 1982. The Mercedes 190, which is now the Mercedes C-Class. In 1991, the most CLA 7th generation model of Mercedes-Benz S-Class came into the market. The domineering style was called Tiger Head by ordinary people at that time. If anyone could own a Tiger Head in that era, it would definitely be a big money. And what we often hear about driving a BMW and riding a Mercedes-Benz is also a domestic circumstance. Had began to circulate in that era, which is enough to prove the comfort and luxury of Mercedes-Benz S-Class. In order to further develop, Mercedes-Benz had another crazy idea at that time, that annexation of Chrysler, one of the three major American autos. As a result, this decision that shocked the car world actually turned out to be sold for $36 billion. As we said before, the full name of the company is Daimler-Benz, and when it merged with Chrysler, the short name of the company became the Dike Group. In 2003, Beijing Automotive and Dike set up a joint venture to start producing Mercedes E and C-Class cars in China. If you have ever seen a Mercedes on the street that says Beijing Benz Decker on the back, it is a product of this era. However, the Dirk Group did not exist for long, and it disintegrated in 2007 because of a power struggle back to each home, each to find each mother. Mercedes-Benz changed its name back to Daimler-Benz. Facts have proved that Mercedes-Benz does not need to rely on anyone. It is a giant. In 2014, Mercedes-Benz created a new generation of Mercedes-Benz design language, with a whole new generation of S-Class, which was highly praised. This design language has also been gradually applied to E-Class and C-Class models below the SCLA SS, although it is laughed at by fans as the sling face. The surge in sales has proved the overall success of this generation of Mercedes-Benz. As the originator of the car world, Mercedes-Benz's current product line is arguably the most abundant. In terms of cars, there are S-Class, E-Class and C-Class attacking the luxury, intermediate and entry-level luxury sedan markets respectively. SUV is from GLA, GLC, to GLE, GLS, G. In addition, Mercedes-Benz also has R-Class commercial vehicles, SL Class Coupe, and various RVs. If the above Mercedes-Benz still can't satisfy you, then please understand the Mercedes-Benz high-performance brand AMG. Many Mercedes-Benz models have AMG versions, such as A-Class AMG, S-Class AMG, and even SUVs have AMG versions. As long as you bring the name of AMG, it means more advanced performance and better control. If you meet AMG on the road, don't provoke them easily. Comprehensive development, long history and rich heritage, this is Mercedes-Benz. As an automobile inventor, Mercedes-Benz can afford these praises.